Right, so you fancy yourself a Brit, eh? Well, it's not just about donning a bowler hat and perfecting your pip pip cheerio. There's a whole lot more to it than that. Dreaming of queuing politely, mastering the art of passive aggression, and developing a deep, abiding love for a good biscuit with your tea. Ah, the quintessential British experience. But let's dive deeper, shall we? Becoming a British citizen, it's more than just a passport change, it's a lifestyle upgrade. Imagine the pride of holding that Union Jack in your hand, knowing you're part of a nation with a rich history and a unique culture. Think access to the National Health Service, a chance to say cheerio unironically, and the unbridled joy of complaining about the weather. Yes, the weather. It's practically a national pastime. Rain or shine, there's always something to grumble about. But hold your horses, mate. Before you start measuring for that Savile Row suit, let's talk about what it really takes to become a right proper Brit. It's not just about the fashion, though looking dapper certainly helps. This ain't no pub quiz where you can blag your way through. It's a process, a journey, a bureaucratic odyssey worthy of its own Shakespearean tragedy. From visas to residency permits, there's a lot of paperwork involved. But fear not, future subject of the realm. This guide is here to demystify the path to British citizenship, sprinkled with a healthy dose of humour, because let's face it, you'll need it, and all the information you need to make your British dream a reality. Let's start with the basics. First, you'll need to live in the UK for a certain period. Typically, it's about 5 years, but it can vary depending on your circumstances. During this time, you'll need to prove your commitment to British life. This means more than just enjoying a pint at the local pub, though that's certainly part of it. You'll also need to pass the Life in the UK test. This isn't just a formality, it's a test of your knowledge about British history, culture, and values. Think of it as a rite of passage. You'll learn about everything from the Magna Carta to the Beatles. It's a chance to immerse yourself in the story of Britain. And let's not forget the language requirement. You'll need to demonstrate your proficiency in English. This might mean taking a language test or showing that you've earned a degree taught in English. It's all about ensuring you can fully participate in British society. Once you've met these requirements, it's time to apply for citizenship. This involves filling out forms, paying fees, and providing documentation. It's a detailed process, but it's all part of the journey. And remember, every step brings you closer to your goal. Finally, if all goes well, you'll be invited to a citizenship ceremony. This is a special moment where you'll take an oath of allegiance to the Queen and pledge your loyalty to the UK. It's a formal recognition of your new status as a British citizen. So there you have it. Becoming a British citizen is more than just a change of address. It's a commitment to a new way of life, a new community, and a new identity. It's about embracing the quirks and traditions that make Britain unique. And who knows, you might even start to enjoy the rain. So, are you ready to embark on this journey? To swap your umbrella for a brolly, your cookies for biscuits, and your elevator for a lift? The path to British citizenship is challenging, but it's also rewarding. And with this guide, you'll be well prepared to navigate every twist and turn. So grab your map, put on your best British accent, and get ready to explore the land of tea, crumpets, and endless queues. Your British adventure awaits. Before you start practicing your best Queen's English, let's see if you even qualify for this life-altering transformation. The journey to becoming a UK citizen is not for the faint-hearted, and it requires more than just a fondness for tea and crumpets. First off, you can't just rock up and demand citizenship because you like the look of our hats. The process is rigorous and demands a genuine commitment to becoming part of British society. There are rules, regulations, and enough paperwork to make a bureaucrat weep with joy. From filling out forms to providing detailed documentation, every step is designed to ensure that only those who truly qualify can proceed. Generally, you'll need to have been living in the UK legally for a good while. We're talking years, not weeks, with a permanent residence card tucked snugly in your wallet. This means you've been contributing to the community, paying taxes, and integrating into the British way of life. You'll also need to prove you're a stand-up citizen with no criminal record that would make a bobby blush. This includes not only major offences, but also minor infractions that could raise eyebrows. And yes, knowing the difference between bangers and mash and toad in the hole is a definite plus. Understanding British culture, traditions, and even the quirks of our cuisine shows your willingness to embrace your new home. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of eligibility criteria later, but for now, Just know that it's not as simple as fancying a cuppa and a change of scenery. The path to citizenship is paved with dedication, patience, and a true desire to become part of the British fabric. You might be wondering who exactly can apply. Well, the list includes those who have been living in the UK for a significant period, usually 5 years, and have held indefinite leave to remain ILR for at least 12 months. This shows a long-term commitment to staying in the country. Additionally, you'll need to pass the Life in the UK test, which assesses your knowledge of British history, culture, and values. It's not just about memorizing facts, it's about understanding what it means to be British. Proficiency in the English language is another crucial requirement. You must demonstrate your ability to communicate effectively in English, which is essential for integrating into society and participating fully in community life. Finally, you'll need to attend a citizenship ceremony where you'll swear an oath of allegiance to the Crown and pledge your loyalty to the United Kingdom. This ceremony is a significant milestone marking the culmination of your journey to becoming a British citizen. So, if you're ready to embrace the challenges and rewards of becoming a UK citizen, start preparing now. It's a journey that requires effort, but the sense of belonging and the opportunities it brings are well worth it. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into each of these requirements and guide you through the process step by step. All right, let's talk about time. Specifically, how much time you need to have spent on British soil before you can even think about calling yourself a Brit. We're not talking a cheeky holiday to Blackpool here, folks. We're talking about proper, settled living. Generally, you'll need to have been living in the UK for at least 5 years on a settled or permanent residence visa. Think of it like a long-term relationship. You need to prove you're in it for the long haul through thick and thin, rain or shine, though let's be honest, it's mostly rain. There are some exceptions to this rule, of course, like if you're married to a Brit or if you've made an exceptional contribution to the UK, inventing a self-brewing tea kettle might qualify, just saying. Section 4. Know your onions and UK history, the Life in the UK test. Now, before you start measuring for that Union Jack onesie, you'll need to prove you know a thing or two about your potential new home. Enter the Life in the UK test, a delightful little assessment designed to separate the true Anglophiles from the casual admirers. This isn't just a pub quiz where you can bluff your way through with a bit of charm and a pint of bitter. Oh no, this is serious business. We're talking historical dates, cultural nuances, and enough trivia about British monarchs to make your head spin. Don't worry, you don't need to know the lineage of every corgi the Queen ever owned, but a basic understanding of British history, customs, and traditions is a must. Section 5. Mind your P's and Q's, the English language proficiency test. Listen, this isn't just another test to stress over, it's a gateway to a world of opportunities. Imagine being able to understand and engage in conversations with ease. Whether you're at a cafe, a business meeting, or even just chatting with friends. We're not expecting you to recite Shakespeare in the original Klingon. However, having a good command of English can open doors you never thought possible. Being able to communicate effectively in English is kind of essential, wouldn't you say? After all, it's the language of international business, science, and even pop culture. How else are you going to complain about the weather, which, let's face it, is a national pastime here in the UK? Or discuss the latest football scores with your mates at the pub? Football is more than just a game here, it's a way of life. Or engage in a good old-fashioned queue-related debate. Yes, even queuing has its own set of unwritten rules and etiquette. That's where the English language proficiency test comes in. It's not just about passing a test, it's about proving to yourself and others that you can thrive in an English-speaking environment. This bad boy assesses your speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills to ensure you can navigate the complexities of daily life in the UK without resorting to interpretive dance, unless you're really good, in which case go for it. Don't worry, you don't need to be Churchill reincarnated. Just show that you can handle everyday situations, whether it's writing an email, reading a news article, or having a conversation. You don't need to be Churchill reincarnated. Just demonstrate a decent grasp of the English language and you'll be well on your way. Practicing with a tutor can be incredibly beneficial. They can provide you with personalized feedback and help you improve your weak areas. And when you finally pass that test, the sense of accomplishment you'll feel will be worth all the effort. You'll be right as rain. Or, drizzle. So take a deep breath, study hard, and go ace that test.